Okay, guys, today on Nomadic Delight, my guest is Faisal Iqbal, a certified SAP consultant and the founder of Consult FI, which is a successful SAP, HCM, and SuccessFactor consulting firm. First of all, thank you for joining me today. And I would like to start off by asking you, please, Faisal, introduce yourself to my listeners, please.
Thank you, Muhammad, for the invitation. It's my pleasure to be with you at the Nomadic Delights podcast. So, in terms of my introduction, I'll just add to what you have already mentioned.
Hmm.
Prior to moving to Indonesia, which is my current place of residence, I lived and worked in Saudi Arabia.
Okay.
And I started my SAP career in Pakistan.
Okay.
Um, yeah, so I've worked in the profession for over 18 years,
Wow.
and it was a mixture of solution consulting and technical support work.
Hmm.
Working with SAP partners, Siemens and HP,
Hmm.
for the first 8 years
Hmm.
at implementation projects, and then with SAP customers and airlines and a technology firm for the
Nice.
next 9 years. As part of internal IT has let
Mm-hmm.
me experience the application lifecycle management.
Mm-hmm.
So my main focus throughout my full-time career has been on HR line of business,
Mm-hmm.
helping businesses with using SAP HRMS. But my last full-time role at a Riyadh-based IT company also allowed me to explore additional business functions too, as a
Nice.
change manager. So during this time, I've worked on different roles, from an associate to a consultant, and
Mm-hmm.
from a team lead to a project and program manager. And leveraging on my earlier experience and
Mm-hmm.
SAP and other IT qualifications, since moving to Indonesia, I've started working as an independent SAP consultant, which is
Nice.
yet another great experience.
Mm.
So Consult FI basically refers to consultation with Faisal Iqbal.
Ah, so you know what? I always thought it was finance, within the finance model. That's really cool. I like that. Consult FI.
Yeah, yeah. So it's just an independent consulting since
Mm,
it was. I had to bring some idea, so I just thought what would be a good title. So I said, okay, consult with Faisal Iqbal. Yeah,
yeah,
so I put the short name, Consult FI.
nice. Nice. I
Yeah,
like it. I honestly, it's short, straight to the point, but it also is kind of snappy, when you see it, consult FI. So,
yeah, yeah, yeah,
mm,
yeah.
well, that's good to know from the SAP, and I'm really impressed because, like you said, from Pakistan all the way to Indonesia, all the different
Mm.
types of roles you've done, from a consultant, from a change manager. But the question I have before we go deep into the world of SAP is, like, how has that been in regards to move? It must be. I mean, was there any positive, negative experience? Because there's some people who, like, when they are too scared, like they would live in the same village all their life, but you've now moved continents. So tell me about that experience, with any positive or negative experience with the moves.
Well, if we look from experience perspective, the way we have lived.
Hmm.
So basically, what I see is when you live in different cultures and interact with people from varied backgrounds,
Yeah.
it impacts you.
Mm.
My first trip abroad from my home country, which is Pakistan,
Yeah.
was to the United Arab Emirates,
Okay.
and that was back in early 2005,
Mm.
which was a triggering point for me to think of living and working abroad.
Right.
Um, a year later, in January 2006, I had already moved to Saudi Arabia. It
Mm.
was an
Wow,
SAP
you
assignment.
you were quick. You don't mess about. You
Yeah,
make a decision.
no,
That's
no,
it.
no, just quick. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So it was an SAP assignment
Okay.
initially for a year, but later on, I continued working there until next 13 plus years. You see, it's more than a
Wow.
decade. So, from the kingdom, Saudi Arabia, I
Yeah.
traveled to neighboring countries too, in addition to living in different cities within Saudi Arabia.
Nice.
And in 2019, I made another big move, and that was from Middle East to Asia Pacific region.
Yeah.
So now it's more than a year already. I'm living here in Indonesia,
Yeah.
and living with and getting to know people from around the world has impacted me as it would impact anyone else who
Yeah.
goes through a similar situation. I think I'm more flexible now.
Oh, definitely.
uh, I can work with anyone and can understand them better.
Mm.
And as you know, within SAP profession, while consultants get multiple chances to work on different projects
Correct.
and essentially with different people, it certainly is an advantage to be aware of cultural nuances
Mm.
So relocating to different cities and countries teaches you the nature of life,
Yeah.
which is temporary. So you start to realize wherever you live, you have to leave it one day. So better live it in a way that you have positive impact and memories. So I think of all of such experiences are contributing factors to my
Mm.
thought process, and therefore I value them greatly.
Honestly, that's some great advice. You're spot on, Faisal. The fact you said if you're gonna live, let it live in a positive way. So that's, I think, 100% agree with you on that. Okay, so when it comes to, that's from a moving experience. Let's now talk about SAP. So even though I'm in the SAP profession, I still would like, for my listeners, in layman terms, what is SAP HCM and SuccessFactor?
Well, these are two different SAP solutions which
Mm-hmm.
help companies with managing their HR processes better.
Mm-hmm.
So you can say it's to support the idea of having right people at the right job, doing the right things at the right time.
Mm-hmm.
So let's say if someone does not know how a typical business operates and how an IT solution supports it, so I first tell them the major functions of a business,
Yeah.
such as a business purchasing some material, using it to produce products, and finally selling them. So as buying and selling are easy concepts to understand, I
Yeah.
tell them both processes are handled by some people,
Mm-hmm.
which are employees of an organization.
Right.
And when they work for a business to help running its operations, they have to be paid their salaries in time. Their time and other details have to be managed by the business. So such activities handled by a function called human resources.
Mm.
So now to manage these activities smoothly, organizations need to have some IT products. SAP has two different products for HR functions,
Mm-hmm.
which include HCM and SuccessFactors. One is on-premise solution, and other is in cloud solution.
Right.
Yeah. So,
Okay. No. That's actually a good way to explain. Like you said, for layman terms, if when you start off with the basic of buying and selling, then mentioning how people need to be paid. No, I like that because it is a difficult topic for some people. I find, especially for my field, when someone asks me, I say I just do finance. It covers so
mm,
much easier. It's like, oh, you're an accountant. Yes. Okay. Yes. Call me an accountant. No, but you
okay.
touched upon it a bit when you mentioned that you started off SAP when you back in Pakistan. But my
Mhm.
question to you, what led you to become an SAP consultant? Why did you choose this profession?
Okay, so it's okay. The choice I had made during the third semester of my MBA degree
Oh
was
wow,
IT. Okay, so
nice,
you have to choose your majors.
correct.
So I made my choice, and it was IT,
Hmm.
and that's what led me to land my first job at the IT division of Siemens at that time.
Mm,
So I went there for an internship,
mm,
but ended up landing a job, and
yeah,
that's also at an SAP project.
nice,
Um,
nice.
so it was during that time when I was working as an internee that the project started. SAP R3
Mm,
project was kicked off, and I was engaged to work with SAP team.
yeah,
So within 2 months I was hired. So it
yeah,
was an internship, and within 2 months I was hired.
excellent.
So it's how my SAP career started. And I believe all of the experiences I had in 18 years of my professional life can be counted to call myself an SAP consultant.
Nice.
I've worked with different SAP partners and customers on solution delivery and technical support roles, respectively.
Nice. No, it's good. I mean, the fact that you mentioned R3, so yeah, that was back in the days, So the
Mm.
fact, and also since they hired you within 2 months, that shows you how valuable to the company. Because usually they make interns stay for 6 months before they even give them a job. But so that's
Yeah.
another good sign. But okay,
Yeah.
so in your 18 years of experience with SAP, what would you have wish you had known when you first started out?
Ah, okay, that's interesting thing. Okay, see, experience is the best teacher, I always
Hmm.
say, and
Yes.
everyone knows. So I did not realize it earlier, and as such, did not try few things. So
Hmm.
I wish I had realized it at that time, at
Yeah.
start of my career. At the current stage of my career, if I don't know much about something new,
Yeah.
I still try it, and after
Nice.
a few attempts, I learn it.
Mm.
So learning a skill and mastering it is actually very easy, I would say. So this is something that I wish I had known it before. So now I feel confident about it. Yeah.
Nice. No, that's a good thing because we, like you said, I love that experience is the best teacher. So if someone is fresh, practically new, what advice would you give someone to enter the SAP HR profession?
Okay, so I would recommend them to focus more on success factors, which is a
Okay.
go-to SAP solution for HR.
Right, right.
They can start with OpenSAP, which has plenty of massive online open courses.
Yep.
There are quite a few courses on the subject at open.sap.com,
Mm-hmm.
ranging from success factors introduction to specific modules, from implementation approach to best practices, integration to migration scenarios.
Yep.
And there's a new one on human experience management, which is a shift from the traditional approach of managing people
Nice.
to um, to meeting their expectations and enhancing their employment experiences. The course was run for a month between, I think, somewhere October and November
Okay.
last year, which is just a few months ago. It's still available. It's a free course like
Yeah.
other open courses,
Yeah.
and a great way to start a learning journey.
Yes.
Once an SAP HRMS aspirant has a basic understanding of what is HR and how SAP solutions meet the line of business requirements,
Yeah.
which is well described in all of those courses, he or she can go for advanced training. And SAP Education has a number of courses for different types of users.
Mm.
So, depending on one's aspiration to become an SAP HRIS business user or consultant, there are different learning paths available which can be taken. I've written blogs on finding the right SAP training and getting to know the
Ah.
SAP training shop, which I think are quite relevant and can be referred for choosing a learning path.
Oh no! Please, I mean, send me the links. I will
Yeah,
share
sure,
them
I will.
once I release the podcast. Because I mean, that's a question a lot of people ask,
Sure,
and
sure, sure.
so no, thanks for that, Faisal. Then, but
Uh,
okay, the question I have, you mentioned, because the good thing about you, you're an MBA graduate. You've been involved in lots of experience for so, but you've come technically into SAP from an IT world, okay?
yeah.
But the question I have, so if someone, let's say, and okay, I'm going to go, someone has work in a retail store and they haven't graduated from university and they still want to enter SAP, are you saying they should still go into Open SAP first as a start? I mean, I know I'll share the links when I release the podcast, but is that
Yes.
still possible for someone who's never had like the wealth of education that you've had or the experience? Is it still possible for someone to
Yes,
become an
still
okay?
possible. Still possible.
Mm,
There is a way. There's a training. So one has to take the right training and
mm,
develop themselves accordingly. And then,
mm.
yeah, sure, they can.
Okay, no, that's good. That's really good to know because I think a lot of people are kind of scared of change, but they also they kind of feel like since I haven't got a degree, I can't start up. So that's good to know.
Mhm.
Okay, now let's kind of focus a bit on you. Um, what unique skill do you think you have has helped you become successful?
Okay, so I have always received good feedback on my written communication skills,
Mm,
and I believe it has helped me more than the technical.
mm,
So I remember once I was advised by an ex-colleague to start using my written skills beyond the workspace or
mm.
workplace. Yeah.
Yeah,
So it was some 9 years ago, I think. I
yeah.
started blogging at SAP Community, which at that time was known as SCN.
Oh
Um,
wow.
and
Yes,
over
back in
time
the
I have
days.
yeah, yeah. And over time I have written on a number of topics from my core areas of expertise, which is HCM to
Yes.
SAP career related issues.
Mm.
And I call my experience as SAP for HR function and
Yeah.
HR for SAP consultants.
Nice, nice. No, it is good because you're right. When I find it easier when someone writes something and the ability to make something complicated into something easy, and I can just speaking to you, I can see that. Plus, another reason why I'm actually interviewing you is because I came across your profile in LinkedIn, and I see you're an SAP LinkedIn influencer. So most of the things you've written, I do follow the kind of experience you have, and I really like enjoy reading and interacting with your posts, Faisal.
Mhm.
But my question based on that, in the world of LinkedIn, what made you choose LinkedIn as your main social media platform?
Thanks for the compliments.
That's all good.
I made the choice because it's the largest network of professionals on social media. When you look at the numbers, you see 500 million people using it.
Yeah.
Uh, and,
Wow.
and you would hardly find someone within IT who does not have a LinkedIn profile.
Hmm.
So you still can find many SAP people easily here if
Yeah.
they are not on the SAP community forum.
Nice.
So to connect with and learn from them, I find it quite easy at LinkedIn. So you just look at their profiles, and you can have a fair idea of consultants' professional background, and if there's some match between your and their interests, so you can get in touch for mutual benefit.
Nice.
So I also use it to share the lessons I have learned in my 18 years of career.
Nice, nice. No, it's something that I've actually enjoyed because, like you said, you even if you're in the world of SAP, but even if you're not, some of the kind of posts you've posted talking about, like, how to do exams, or how to to do training, and I've also enjoyed as well reading when you mentioned about your experience in the world of freelance. So like with your company Consult FI, yeah. So
Yeah.
that's something that for a lot of people who have scared to make that jump, who've not become a freelancer, you've now given them confidence. You've explained to them. So that's something that it is. I think you're doing a really great job on LinkedIn platform, and it's. I'm not surprised why you're a LinkedIn influencer. But then the question I have in regards to the world of Consult FI, have you found it a big difference from working for a 9 to 5 and now working for yourself, Faisal?
Right. No, it's just not a time bound job.
Yeah.
So you have assignments at the time, and at other times you do not. Okay.
Mm.
Then sometime you find yourself working in odd timings. For example, now I'm working with another SAP partner. I've joined them as a partner. So
Mm-hmm.
it's mostly on training engagements these days.
Right.
So sometime the time zone difference, that's something that I have to adjust myself. It's not a typical 9 to 5 job. So like these days, I'm engaged with a West African client. So
Mm.
it's like the time difference is 7 hours, just like with UK, we
Yeah.
have 7 hours difference. So there
Right.
also is time zone difference is 7 hours. So we are starting like 4 in the evening when it's 9 a.m. there.
Oh wow.
So it's like the type of things which are a little different, but
Mm.
otherwise I find it like quite interesting. So if someone is interested in this type of work, you have to see that how ready you are.
Yeah.
I've written a detailed blog on this one. It says freelancing and freedom. Yeah, so
Okay.
I'll share the link with you. It's quite
Please,
detailed. Yeah,
because
yeah.
I mean, I think the key things people enjoy from this podcast, besides learning your experience, is when they can actually have links to go and learn more if they want to dig deeper. So like you said,
Mhm.
how to enter the world of SAP HR, but also if you are already an SAP consultant and you want to jump into the freelance world, that would be actually two great links. So no, thanks for that,
Yeah,
Faisal.
I will share. Yeah, sure.
But now, yeah, you mentioned about us in the UK, and you're correct. And I mean, us here, we're now in lockdown. It's cold and everything. But we finally, I wouldn't say finally, but we finally resolved that issue of called Brexit. Okay. Okay.
Yeah, one or so. Yeah.
So, but we are now dealing with COVID-19, and we have now become
Oh,
like the Wuhan of Europe. Let's just say that. Yeah. But my question to you is, speaking about COVID-19 and impacting on your current circumstances in Indonesia, what impact do you think will the COVID-19 have on the SAP industry?
okay. So even though during the pandemic much has changed and the
Yeah.
business is not as usual,
Yeah.
I believe it's IT which still has demand.
Right.
And SAP can help businesses with dealing with the current challenges. And as we can see in the history also, it always has done since its inception.
Hmm.
And even now, it's well aligned with the latest market needs. So I have quite a few friends in Indonesia who are in the profession, and they're still engaged at SAP implementation projects, which
Okay.
shows that it's still running fine. Though I am living here but working for clients outside Indonesia,
Yes, correct.
but there are a few people who are still engaged on projects. So I feel the impact, economic impact is there, but
Yeah.
generally speaking, is still, if I compare it with the other markets, is still okay.
Mm.
Yeah, people are
That's
still
nice, nice.
interested. Yeah,
And
yeah.
the other question I have in regards to, like, you yourself, you've moved around the world. You've had 18 years of experience of SAP, and if you didn't take that internship at Siemens and you
Mhm.
didn't become an SAP consultant, what profession would you have found yourself?
Oh, well, that's interesting thing. I never thought about it. Because as I graduated, I dropped my CV at Siemens.
Yeah.
Okay, they for internship.
Yeah.
They did not look at my MBA degree. They looked at my specialization IT. Okay,
Ah,
and
okay.
and I went to Siemens commercial division, and they sent me to IT. I dropped my CV there. They said, "Okay, come from Monday."
Yeah.
Really?
Wow.
Okay, okay. And I started my internship, and during the internship, this project was started. At that time, it was 4.6C R3.
Yeah. Yes. Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so it was end of 2001.
Correct.
That project started, and they said, "Okay, we need few people. Would you like to join?"
Mm.
Okay. And at that time, I had few other offers, which
Yeah.
were apparently they were paying more. But
Yeah.
then I discussed it with some other people around me, and they said, "You should take SAP." And even my project manager at that time,
Yeah.
he was German project manager, and he
Yeah.
told the benefits of SAP. So you will have a great career, and he told all of the benefits. So
Yeah.
I said, really, but you're paying very less, and you're saying it will have it will have many benefits. So he said, trust me. He explained it very well. So I decided to take that career. And when I started, yeah, within 4 years, I found myself in Saudi Arabia, which
Nice.
was a tax-free environment at
Yes.
that time. So at that time, demand was quite high for people from other places also.
Yeah.
Now that market is quite mature, we have local talent available now there. So
Okay.
it's the same, I think, everywhere.
Mm.
So if you look at 20 years ago, the market was different when you
Correct.
compare it now. Yeah.
No, no. You've raised a good point, but I mean, it's interesting because, like you said, at that time, a lot of people would have looked at a short-term goal, and you took like one step back to take three steps forward because you were able to say, "Oh, let me look at the long term." But a lot of people would have not survived with the low salaries, so it's good.
But
And yeah,
it's interesting that at that time,
yeah,
because it was new project, I was new graduate, and I brought my ideas. Of course, I was not aware of the path that at any project you have to follow.
yeah,
So I was trying to adjust, and at times I felt that maybe I am not fit. Okay,
mm,
I should leave, and that I still remember few opportunities that came up my way, and then I decided to quit. But then I got few advices from here and there, my parents, my
mm,
family, a few others
nice,
who are IT literate. So they
yeah,
said, no, take this one, continue. Okay, you will face these troubles, but ultimately you will enjoy this career. And yes, I see it now. Yeah, I thank God that yeah I took that continued with this profession, and really it has helped me a lot.
that's good. No, it's something that like, how would you say, looking back, you never thought when you first started. But one thing I'm really impressed about, because look, in the world of SAP, we're always busy with projects and it's very demanding. But the fact that you take time out of your demanding schedule to write blogs and to write information, and and you are already on the SAP community platform, that's also another thing as well, the LinkedIn world. Because what people kind of forget, or they don't appreciate, is that it's a full-time job. You are also a family man. I've seen from your LinkedIn posts, but you still take time out to write, to share, and to kind of explain, the SAP. So that's something that it is appreciated from my side, Faisal, honestly.
It's just I see it like giving back to community.
Mm,
Whatever you can do, you have to, or whatever profession you are in, not just SAP. But when you see that you have got much from that profession, so why not help others also? So whatever I can, obviously, I have to, and I try my best. But then again, sometimes still it's at times it's not possible. Also, that
Mm.
I get many queries, many questions, direct messages.
Yeah.
So what I do is, instead of responding to everyone, if it's a similar question, so what I do, I write a blog or a post. So that's
Nice.
basically the answer. Because if one is asking such question, I'm sure there are plenty of other people who need answer to similar question. Yeah.
Correct.
So I just make a post, and you see that in the last 2 years, I've been very active on LinkedIn also.
Mm.
I was active on SCN since I think 2008 or 9, but uh, 2 years ago I started with LinkedIn. I become like I'm posting on daily basis something. So
Excellent.
this
No,
is mainly to give back to community. Yeah.
well, no, it's good, and also, I mean, because I like to follow certain people on social media, and one of the things they did say about LinkedIn, as well as TikTok, these are two great platforms from organic reach. So,
Mm.
so that I think the fact that you're doing it as a kind of share back, but this is how I came across your profile in the first place.
Exactly. You see that we got to know each other since long,
Yes.
and how was it made possible through LinkedIn?
100%,
Yeah.
100%, and
Yeah.
for it's like the first. This is the first time we've kind of spoke, and this is what is. I think I already know you because of the amount of content you share, which has made me, appreciate life in Indonesia. But okay, final question, Faisal. I've really taken a lot of
Yeah.
your time, so I really appreciate it. Okay, now after Indonesia, do you see yourself moving somewhere else? I know with COVID it's kind of difficult, but with Saudi, if Saudi comes
Okay.
calling again, would you go back, or do you see yourself going somewhere else after Indonesia?
I don't think so, because the reason I may travel for short term,
Yeah,
but not kind of like relocating.
nice.
Because what I see is that there comes a time in your life that you are looking for some other goals also,
Mm,
uh, which is typically in my age bracket, which 40 plus. So you start looking that, okay, you should have a home and you live there,
nice.
and you spend more time with your family.
Yes.
So in fact, the freelancing mode of work was also um, uh, one reason that why I started this type of work, because of corporate world has its own demand.
Yes.
So you have to manage your own time. You need more time for yourself, for your family, your friends, and other circles.
Yeah.
Which you cannot manage within the corporate world, because it's not just 9 to 5. Your
Yeah.
travel time, going to office, coming back. So you leave early morning, you reach late night. You do not have time even to have dinner with your family. Okay,
Mm,
you just have this fast food kind of thing. It
yeah.
has health problems. There are a lot. So I chose freelancing to align myself with other needs.
Nice.
So I think I would prefer this mode of working more than the corporate. And
Correct.
then I see the weather condition here is quite normal,
Yeah.
which is the temperature remains between 25 to 35 degrees,
Oh, nice.
which is like I see that. I mean, if you are living in a cold climate, and
Yes.
you know that what are the challenges there.
Oh, yes.
So it's I mean, everyone has different structures. I mean, they
Yeah.
have different needs, and they have.
Yeah.
Uh, I mean, they enjoy different places. Some people love living in cold places. There are other who like hot places. And I
Mm.
feel, for me, the moderate weather works well. Works well for me. Yeah.
No, no, honestly, Faisal, that's such a good point because there comes a point, like I say, it could be age or whatever, but it's the quality of life and what you're getting. Just like you said, the family time, spending time with friends, it's much more valuable because it's true. You're right. With the corporate world, sometimes, and especially with SAP projects, you and I both know, it's no 9 to 5. It could be midnight. It could be weekends. It could be the project needs to go live. So at least now you as a freelancer, you get to choose the workload depending on your own
Yeah.
needs. So
Yeah.
that's actually
That's
a really really good advice. But no, I mean honestly, I mean once this COVID is ending, you've now all the pictures I've seen, all the content I've seen on LinkedIn, I'm gonna definitely try and make it on my bucket list to come visit you in Indonesia, inshallah, because I need to.
sure. Sure. It will be a pleasure to host you also.
I
Please do
appreciate that.
come and yeah, I'm living in suburbs of Jakarta, and
Oh,
this is
nice.
quite nice place. I see that one thing, the day and night they are like there's a time that when is day, when is night. It's not like at one time day is longer and other time
Yes,
night is longer. Like in some places it is.
yes. Very true.
Most of the year it's almost same, and the
Nice.
weather is either it's raining or it's not raining. I mean
Uh,
that this my brother who lives in Arab world, he
yeah.
says here it's hot or not hot. um, so he doesn't describe the weathers like no, he says, sorry, he says it's hot or it's very hot. So I tell him here it's raining or not raining, or I can say it's raining, less raining or more raining. I mean,
Nice.
this type of lifestyle is altogether different. Even though, if we look from financial perspective,
Yeah.
it's not as big as usually if you are on international assignments.
Yeah.
It's I mean, you just manage your household. I mean, basic life.
Exactly.
But because it's impacting your other sides of your life, so
Yeah.
you see, I think this is something you should consider.
Yes.
Yeah.
No. I like that, honestly, and like I said, I really appreciate the time you took for me today. Now, before I sign off, is there anything else you'd like to add or mention that I have not covered?
Thank you too for inviting me to be part of this series. I think it was a good opportunity to know more about each other,
Mm.
and I hope our audience also finds it useful. I don't have anything else.
No, definitely they will find it useful. You've really given us a good insight on your world of SAP experience, and as well the links you'll share with me. I'll actually be making sure I post it with the podcast, so then people can also check out all the the questions you've answered in the past. No, honestly, thanks a lot for that, Faisal.
All right. Okay. Thank you,
All
Mohammed.
right, all the best. Take care.
Okay. Take care.
Well, that's all, folks. Thank you for listening to my podcast, which is simply the reflections of a nomad consultant living life on a day-by-day basis. I just want to conclude by saying I appreciate the love and support you guys are showing me. Until the next time, peace and love.